Wow. Morning. It's our Wednesday yamuna / doTERRA Metapwr talk. And this morning I was thinking, because I've started taking the metabolic system, the Metapwr and the collagen just, a couple months ago. And I don't think I would have thought about teaching more of the yamuna stuff on a regular, because I'd be worried I would be in pain. So I really had only had my personal practice for teaching yamuna that felt safe to me, because I could just do what my body needed. But since my inflammation is down and the sensitivity around my neck where I had soft tissue damage, it's not feeling like that sensitive. It even felt sensitive just laying on a pillow, like just a touch felt hurtful. And now that it doesn't, it just, I'm so grateful that obviously that I'm not hurting, and it gives me back a piece of myself that I really liked, where I could teach other people how to help themselves. So thank you guys for being here and building my self-esteem. So
you're welcome.
So I'm really happy with my results so far with taking that. And then something that I really want to work on with using the balls is my lower belly and my bladder and my pelvis. And I wanted to share with you guys my thoughts on it. Having, I had 3 kids. Cindy's had 2. Yvonne's had 2. There's just this like lower belly area that, like it's kind of hard for us to like get that mind body connection back to like getting the fibers to do what we want them to do, and also giving us like bladder lift and support. So I wanted to share with you is what I've been doing is I'm taking you can use any digestive oil that'll be helpful. Like I'm using peppermint and cypress. But if you want to try it, I think it's really cool. I'm just going to take mint. So if
I don't have my oils either.
Okay, go get them. You need a peppermint or something like that. So I'm taking just a couple of drops of the peppermint and cypress, and I'm going to rub it on my tummy, around the belly button and the lower abdomen. It just, it does, let me spotlight for myself. It gives this sensation that helps me connect, that when I'm breathing in my belly and expanding and contracting and bringing the belly button to the spine, it just helps me like find it better. And I really like that I could do that. Yeah. Yeah, Cindy.
Cypress and a mint.
Yeah, I used peppermint, but you could use regular mint or digestin or.
What about eucalyptus? No? Okay, wait, bergamot. Oh,
Yeah,
peppermint.
Something
peppermint.
The menthol stuff, because it has a sensation.
Yeah. Okay.
So like wintergreen would work.
Peppermint. I got peppermint.
Peppermint works. So I just applied it to around my belly button and my lower belly. And this is also what I'm doing with my ball, if you guys wanted to do it. If your knees don't do this, that's okay.
You're on the floor? Okay.
Yeah, right now I'm on the floor. And okay. I have the ball right like a chicken on an egg. So I guess the vaginal opening. I am in front. I'm not near my tailbone. I'm closer to the front, to the pubic bone, but I'm behind it. So I'm sitting like a chicken on an egg. You can do this sitting in a chair if your knees don't like it. But having done that, and then I put my hands to my belly, I can expand into my hands. And then exhale, everything bringing the belly button to the spine. Inhale and exhale. It helps me to put my finger on my belly button, because then I can feel it going in. And I'm lifting my chest up and exhaling. It's a little bit of a rocking. So it looks like this. So my pelvis is doing a little bit here and a little bit here. It's really subtle. And you exhale as much as you can to get as close to your spine as you can. And a lot of people, what I find when I'm interacting with them, when they're sitting in a chair, they don't have the supports of their muscles. They'll just go like this. So this kind of breathing, I think, is going to help. Like if we had whale bones, like a corset, but your own muscles are just going to hold you. Like we're building support for the rib cage, you know. So we're breathing in and then exhaling, bringing the belly to the spine. So that's the kind of breathing I want to help you guys use as we're going to go with the ball up against the bed. So this is really good for lifting the bladder up and away from the pelvic floor. It's really good for opening up scar tissue that everybody has. Doesn't matter if you've not had surgery or not. It's just the way your body has, it just builds stuff up. So you'll feel it. So we're gonna start center pubis. So let me put the ball on my computer here. My office actually looks clean. The other side of the camera is not. So you're gonna take your ball. So we want center pubis, and if you have socks on, take them off because you need grip on the floor.
Okay.
So I'm gonna put it right on pubic bone. And I'm gonna go up against the edge of the bed. So not at the edge, it's kind of just just on top, on the edge.
Yeah.
I'm aware that I look silly. I'm willing to do it for you guys. I kind of feel like if I had no, I'm not gonna say it, but I'm like,
Yeah, that's sorry. I was laughing.
So you're just gonna put your hands a little bit in front of you. Don't lock your knees. You might have to widen your feet and then make your feet solid. And you're just gonna press and breathe like how we did that. Big into the ball, belly button to spine. So we're not gonna collapse here. Your knees, I've got my knees bent and pressing into the bed. So that way I'm not gonna lock. My feet are solid. Belly button to spine. So now you're gonna bring your hands a little bit closer back to you again. And we're gonna let our knees, so bend the knees and let the fronts of your thighs slide down the front of the side of the bed and take a breath into the ball. So the pads of my feet, my toes are what are stabilizing me. Do you feel it lifting?
I guess I'm probably doing it wrong. Let's see.
Joe got here. Let's see. Let me see if I can get my camera at a better angle so you can see what I'm doing.
I think it's hurting my lower back.
Oh, okay. So maybe you need a bigger ball.
Okay.
Or you could do it differently. So that was one way that we demoed. I'm trying to find a good angle for this camera.
It feels better with the bigger ball.
Okay, so go bigger. Are you okay, Yvonne?
Well, I don't have a very high bed for my height, and so I had to go over to a dresser. And so I'm kind of putting the ball against the dresser at my pubic height and leaning forward and breathing.
That works too, and it could also be on the wall.
Oh, well, that'd be pretty close to the wall, but yeah, and I guess I could slide down the wall, but yeah, the bed doesn't work.
Okay.
And I couldn't get my knees bent enough to get down.
I'm finding
So-
I just switched to the bigger ball, which you don't have, and it actually feels a lot better. So just hold tight, Yvonne, and we'll show you the other
I
option.
feel like I've been put in timeout when I go against the wall, like nose in the hole, you know how that.
Yeah, did you have a dunce hat in your classroom? You'd be the one person that it would be funny. So I'm doing it with a bigger ball, and this time I put my feet out a little further away to maybe that would help Cindy for you to protect your lower back.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just kind of sliding down. I'm lifting the lower abdomen and the bladder. And on the exhale, letting the ball in a little deeper.
I feel like my concern is just breathing correctly now.
Well, just let go of that.
Okay.
It'll make you like tighten up more than is necessary. I'm just breathing into the ball and then trying to let myself go.
Okay, it's helpful.
So I'm gonna go just as far as the belly button. And then I'll show a modification for Yvonne. But this is great, I mean, for all women, because we're trying to get this stuff back up so that when we build the muscles underneath and get our bones far enough apart that it's actually gonna do what we want. You know, it's supposed to be a trampoline for our organs and our spine.
Mm-hmm.
Let's switch to something a little easier right now. You can use a white or you can use a gold. So you can take your ball and you're gonna put it as high up in the crotch as it'll go. And then you're just gonna walk your feet together. If you need to, you can lean up against the wall if you're not like able to hold the ball. My toes are spread out. My knees are not locked. And you'll notice that it's gonna help bring apart the bones in the pelvis. Is we don't want, as we age, the bones narrow and then the muscles go like this. Because it's like a trampoline where the you know, like if you took the poles and walked them in. So that's why it's important to use the ball to like pry it open.
Love it. Yeah, I never thought about it.
Yeah. So like when you see people, you know, in the grocery store and they're going like this, or there's other versions of it, you know, that the bones are narrowing. So it doesn't matter how many Kegels they do. Trampoline poles are too close. What do you notice in that, doing that? Does that help your lower back, Cindy?
It's not hurting.
Okay. Because this
But
will keep it.
I'm
Are you using the white ball?
I'm using
the white one. Yeah. I'm glad that I'm taking care of this. I didn't know.
I think my ball is a little too not gushy enough, maybe.
Well, also when you first start, Yvonne, your muscles are really stuck together and it'll make it feel like it's gonna pop your ball out.
I'm gonna free my fascia. Am I?
Yeah, we'll set you free. So what you could do, Yvonne, is like I could go up against the wall. And then I would just set my butt there and walk my feet back. And then it gives me a little more stability so that I don't pop my ball out. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that's one way.
I have to walk them together though, right? I mean.
Yeah, you got it. So you don't want to be going like this and have your feet out here because then it won't leverage open the top. You got to walk them in so you can get the top end to open up.
Oh, I put my feet closer together.
Yeah, that's good because you're leveraging it.
Yeah.
So how you could make this more, Cindy, is you make sure your knees don't lock. And you can come forward. And then you'll get a really nice stretch in the back too. And breathe. Just softly walk up. You can move your ball down just a little bit. Make sure your toes are nice and spread. Your knees aren't pointing in, they're pointing forward. You can walk back down and breathe. Roll back up. This is a really good thing to do. And, you know, actually we're stimulating your immune system because every time you work on the long bones of your body, the humerus and the femur, it stimulates, what is that? I might be saying it wrong. I think it's white cells. That's why when people get in car accidents and they break their leg, like all of a sudden they get leukemia. Have you heard that before?
No, but I'm enjoying the sensation of the oils on my abdomen.
Doesn't it help you feel your muscles more?
Yeah.
It totally does, right? Like I'm always gonna do it before I go do Pilates. It helps me find it.
That's good.
Okay, so we're gonna try something that I think is gonna be good because I know Yvonne's had a history of sciatic stuff and Cindy's got tight knees that start in the back line. So we're gonna do a little bit of your hamstrings. So you're gonna take your ball, the edge of the bed, and tell me if this doesn't work for your body, but just bring one leg up and you're gonna stick it right at the bone at the bottom of your butt cheek. It's called your sit bone.
Do you think the white ball is good for me?
You
Let
might
me
go
see.
gold. I was doing white because that's the only one Yvonne has. I like gold.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like it wasn't a good stretch with the white.
I have slidey joints. And if your hamstring's really tight, so Yvonne, you could like bring in a yoga block or like an extra pillow if you need. But for my body, I need 2 balls for this. So I'm putting 1 ball, I'm finding if you like, here's the butt, and then there's the bone.
Mm-hmm.
That's where your hamstring attaches.
Okay.
So
What's the other leg doing?
My leg is just straight down. It's my stabilizing leg.
Okay, well, because I can't go straight down off my bed.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think I have to.
Do you have a chair or something?
Okay.
You can do this on the floor too.
Oh.
Let me
Yeah,
just
my-
demo this for real quick and then we can move to the floor so that it's fair.
my when I moved here, my son just says, well, you know, just for a quick, just get a Novo phone. You just put it on that, and so it's not, it doesn't have a platform and then a box spring and then a mattress and makes it higher, you know.
Well, of course he would say that. The minimalist says, just put it on the floor.
That's right. Yeah, it's worked so far.
No, I agree. It's very, you know, mid-century modern. So even here, I can find, oh, my muscles are kind of not helping me in my stomach. So if I put one hand on my stomach, I can kind of fan into my hand, exhale, belly button to spine. So that when I lean forward, I'm bending straight at the hips. I'm not letting myself be crooked. And I can get a really good stretch in my hamstrings that way. So it's not like, oh, I can just do this if I wanted. But that's not the point, is I want that straight forward. Inhale the belly, exhale, belly to spine, flex the toes. Does that feel more deeper when you do it, Cindy?
If I flex?
Flex the toes and kind of bend at the waist. Like don't go as far as you can, just enough to feel that deeper belly muscle in here,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Yeah.
So that's one way to do it for people who want to do it. I liked it. Oh my gosh, that feels better. Okay, let's do the other one real quick and then I'll demo it on the floor. I'm gonna put that on bottom of the butt cheek. See, my right leg doesn't have as much trouble as my left, so I don't necessarily feel like I need 2 on this side. I guess I got to start asking people how high their bed is.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think the question is, how high is your bed in relationship to the bottom of your pubic bone?
Does your crotch, is it below the crotch or above the crotch?
Important when you go to buy a bed, you need to measure these things.
Well,
Right?
if it's short, can you do it on your knees?
I don't know.
Well, it's not that, I don't know, it's not that short, so
Oh,
maybe.
it's in between.
A lot of the, like what my yamuna teacher used to teach is she would have a low coffee table and do stuff on the coffee table.
Mhm.
Like, I've got this little headstand stool. So like so if if you want to do it on a chair, you could follow with me. Because I guess we're kind of doing a pelvic floor class. So I could do this on the floor, but I'm going to show you on a chair real fast. So it's kind of a low chair. It's my little stool. So I'm like the chicken on an egg again. And I've got my legs out wide. The first time you do this is a bit like, whoa.
Okay, wait, am I supposed to be doing that right now?
If you want, do you guys have a chair you could do this with?
Yeah. Oh, my cat's on it. Coco.
You can't disturb your cat, you can't disturb your cat.
Cat.
Is that the white ball?
It's white ball, yeah.
And
I've got
does
it
that-
right
is
on
that-
the vagina.
Coco.
Does it have to be in a chair or can it be on the floor?
If we
Sorry,
do it on the floor, let's see.
I like this.
I have to go find a chair.
Okay, I'll wait for you. It's good for me.
It's good for me too. And I can, because my right side is shorter than my left side, so I can feel the difference in my bones doing
Yeah,
this.
I mean, there's all the adductors, they all come and they connect. So on the pelvic floor, so the front is the pubic symphysis. There's two little halves to your pubic bone. And then here's your sit bones in the back. But there's this rail. So if you imagine like baby's head coming out of it,
Yeah.
here's these rails and you can feel them on the edge of the ball here. Like
Mm-hmm.
the left is like way tighter than my right.
Me too.
And when I would have sex, that would be the side that I'd be like, ow,
Mm.
something around the labia and in my hip,
Yeah.
But since I started doing this, I don't have that. Like, I think it was like a stitch from the midwife for my first child.
Oh, I had the episiotomies twice, so.
Oh God. Yeah. So this will be really good for you. Have you got a chair, Yvonne?
I have.
Okay. So put your ball in your crotch. My teacher says it's so much nicer than me. She's like, put it in the cotton area of your underwear.
Cotton area.
Oh, put it on your vagina. She's Canadian, so they have so much better manners.
I didn't know that.
They do, and they don't call it silverware. They say cutlery,
Oh, cutlery.
and they say washroom instead of bathroom.
Oh, sure.
More civilized. So I'm putting one leg out long, and so that I can feel that stretch in the adductor. And I'm leaning my weight. So think Peter Pan. I'm leaning into my other bent leg. And my knee likes to turn in. So I kind of need to pick up the meat and turn it so that it stays. It's not for everyone. You might need to push. And then come back.
The rails are hurting.
Yeah, those rails. I think you missed that, Yvonne. So pubic bone in the front, sit bones in the back, and then you see the bones on the outside. That's where you're feeling it on here. So I can lean my weight to my opposite side. You might put a forearm on the knee, straighten. I got my leg. Straighten this leg and make sure that your toes not facing forward. You got your knee.
Oh, so this side doesn't hurt half as bad.
Yeah, isn't that weird? Well, and it really depends. The way that your pelvis developed depends also on your birth order. So if you were the first baby, which you were, Cindy, you're gonna have tighter stuff because you were the first one to stretch out the uterus.
Mhm.
And then also your story with, your kids and all the things that you've been through. The knee surgery that affected your hip.
Yeah.
So then once we've played with that a little bit, just take it off. Notice I kept you guys there a while. But that's going to really help your lower back. It's going to get the trampoline poles back out so that your muscles underneath can actually like support your organs and your spine.
Yeah.
So that's a good one. And then if we were to do it on the floor, let me bring my camera down here.
The same thing we just did, or the other thing?
I was gonna go for hamstrings for Yvonne, because how has that been for you? Do you still have the sciatica?
The sciatica, no.
Oh, good.
My issue is between the shoulder blades.
Oh, okay. Well, then maybe we'll just go up the front of the belly on the floor, and then I'll show you the back of the spine. Does that sound good?
Sure.
Okay. Now, how am I going to get you guys to be able to see what I'm doing?
I can see you.
You can? Okay,
Yeah.
so we're going to start. Let's see, where are we going to start? If we go center pubis again, and then we're going to roll up to the belly button and then back down again, okay? So,
Wait.
fall right on your pubic bone.
Okay, and then roll it up to your abdomen.
It's going to be very slow though. So,
Okay.
So I'm up on my elbows. If I were by myself, well, I think I would stay up on my elbows, but I'm making sure my pelvis is a little bit tucked under. I'm not letting my belly and my chest like collapse.
Okay.
How am I rolling it up? Seems like
My
someone
elbows are here, and I'm gonna just use my elbows, like see how I can rock. I'm using my elbows to push back on my mat so that I'm going toward my feet. But don't roll yet. Stay on the pubic bone.
Stay on the pubic bone.
Yeah. Sometimes what I would do is I would take another ball, or I would take a pillow, because I used to like not even be able to do this because of my neck injury. And I would just put this like near the belly button as a support if you're feeling like too weak or you just don't want to. I think we're all fine though. So this is a really,
Supposed to roll from my pubic bone to my belly button and back again.
yeah, but follow my cues. Don't go yet. So we're on the pubic bone. So now I'm gonna go down. I'm moving my body down toward my feet. So you'll feel the ball just go to the edge of the bone above it into the squish. So now you're not on the bone, you're just a little bit above it.
Okay.
Still kind of half on it. And then tuck your tail just a little bit. Breathe in your belly, big. Expand, exhale. Bring your belly button to your spine. Big breath in, expand to the ball. Exhale, belly button to spine. And then you're going to scoot back toward your feet, and the ball's going to go a little bit higher. And you're going to, wait, I didn't ask. Yvonne, do you have a bladder lift?
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to shift our weight to the side now. So take your ball and you're going to move it to the outside edge. So the hip bone's here. We're going to put it here.
Okay.
Right at the edge. So I should have asked, but that is fine, Yvonne, just that little bit from the pubic bone and one little lift. But we wouldn't want to go higher than that because you could actually snap your bladder lift.
Ooh.
So
we want that.
we don't want to do that.
But should I stay in the middle?
If you want, I'm gonna cue it from the right hip bone, which is gonna be good too.
Okay, I'll just do that.
Yeah, it is good because did you ever have diastasis where the middle muscle opened up a little bit?
How would I know?
Well, Well, you know, here's like your rectus abdominis, the six pack.
Yeah.
And then in pregnancy, it tends to have an opening. So when you would lay down, if you put your finger along that line, if it feels like there's a hole.
I'm not
Or
sure.
when you do ab workouts, you don't see a bubble pop up.
I don't think so.
Okay, then I don't think you have that. So
Okay.
what we're doing is we're working on knitting our abs back together. So my ball is right on that hip bone, and now I'm gonna scoot it so that it's gonna scoop inside the hip. So now it's inside that hip. Now I'm gonna reach my right arm long, same side ball. I need a ball here to be able to do that. But you can just lean your weight all the way over to the right. So my head's gonna rest on my bicep. I'm gonna lengthen my foot, the back of the top of my foot on the floor, and breathe big into the ball. This is gonna open up the hip flexors. And like I said, we're knitting our rectus abdominis toward the middle of our body. Big breath in the ball. Exhale, bring the belly button to the spine. Is it pulling a lot in your?
I feel like I'm squishing my ovary.
You probably are. If you feel a pulse, just shift away from it a little bit, because that's your.
It's fine.
It's gonna be rough. Are you okay, Yvonne?
Yeah, I think
This
so.
is gonna be really good for lower back stuff
Okay.
and posture, because we don't want to collapse forward, because then, you know, doesn't support your upper body. And come up, and we're gonna shift the ball to the other hip. So front hip bone. And we're just right on top of the bone on the opposite leg. And breathe. So you're not allowing your other hip to touch the floor. So the side without a ball, my knee is on the floor. And the side with a ball, my leg is out long and my toes are making it like long. So like my toes are touching the floor, but my other leg, my knee is touching. So now you're going to allow the ball to scoop into the hip. And then if you want, you can just, if you're like, this is a lot of pressure, like what you were describing, Cindy, you could just stay here. But if you're like, okay, I want to see, lengthen the arm long, and then you can allow your weight to drop in and let your head rest on your bicep. Take a breath in the ball.
Even though we're just laying here, I feel a lot of action happening in my leg.
Yeah, right. You feel like stuff happening.
Yeah.
So I rolled off my ball. You can stay on as long as you want. But just from that, I mean, you can lay on your back and you feel like, whoa, what does that feel like? What do we do here? So for sternum and upper back, because that's what you said, Yvonne, was bugging you between your shoulder blades.
Yes.
we're gonna get at it from the front. So like, because we're not that deep, right? So when you think the spine's in the middle, people always think, oh, they think at right here, but you can access it from the front. So if we're sneaky about it, because I have a feeling that you're a bit narrow in here.
Mm-hmm.
And so the muscles in the back, this is actually pretty neat since I know you guys like stuff that I like. So you think about your shoulder blades in the back, right? So they're kind of like shields. So like if God gave us shields to protect our heart and our lungs, right? So if your shoulder blades round forward, your shields expose your heart and your lungs. Then your body lays down thicker connective tissue to protect you, right? So someone doesn't get you in the back, kill you. Isn't that neat? It's kind of like a protective, even though it sucks because it hurts, but like,
Right.
I just think it's neat.
That's good.
So anyway, the historical, whatever my theory on that. But we can get at it from the front by opening up the ribs, and then our shields will go back to protect our heart and lungs. And then your body doesn't need all that stuff that causes pain.
Good.
So
I like
we're gonna
that.
start center sternum.
Is it like in between your boobs
Yeah,
or above it?
it's in between the boobs. I don't want to go down here. This
Okay.
point of the sternum, you can actually snap that. So don't go that low. I'm just a little bit above,
Okay.
which would start. This is like my favorite one because like anytime I have anxiety, I'll just go lay on my ball and breathe. It works really good.
Just
Ugh.
go lay on your ball, Kim.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like the head in the sand thing. So breathe into your ball and exhale everything. Does it feel good?
Mhm.
So we're gonna, I know this is different for everybody's breast size. Joe, if I can get you on a ball, you have to come over and get some balls. So I'm taking my boob, I'm gonna go under the boob. Generally, I would do this with 2 balls, but I'm gonna demo with 1. So I'm gonna keep my elbows up and I'm pressing my weight away from the ball. I'm going into it and away. We're trying to spread the rib cage open. So I'm kind of gonna grab my boob and I'm gonna move it a little further out. And then you can put your arm long in front of you, or you can put it out, whichever direction. I need to go forward. So I'm kind of just holding the whole boob and pec so that, because I'm pulling it this way and then I'm pressing down into the ball. Make sure you're breathing into it. It's going to be tight. This is not like, we're not used to having our ribs touched.
Mm-mm.
You're going to move your ball out a little more. So now it's like the ball's only really half on your. I'm pulling my pec and my boob this way and pressing down into the ball. And I'm going to bring my ball. So I kind of went like this. I went like, I'm going to come up now, this side of the boob. So I'm pressing that outer edge and I'm going to come up a little higher. You might have to scoot your hips down. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You might be able to put your head down at this point. And then we're gonna bring the ball up. So now I'm gonna be right at the point of the shoulder. Right here. I'm gonna put it right there. And I'm gonna put my arm back with the back of my hand on the floor. And I'm just gonna press my shoulder into the ball. Let me know if what I'm saying doesn't make sense or if you need a modification. Okay. You can take that out. If you want to sit up and kind of feel like what that feels like.
What are we doing?
Get more air on the side. How's it feel, Cindy?
It feels good. I know that it's working. It's doing good for the future. For
Yeah.
future me.
We're lifting the whole front of the body,
Mm-hmm.
you know? Okay, so we're gonna go just below the other boob. So find the rib and go, okay, that's where we're going. I use this on a white ball because it's soft.
I think I need to let some air out of my white ball.
Is it really hard?
It seems hard. I don't know. I didn't know what, what it should be.
If you want it, yeah, I would, because look at mine.
Yeah, mine's not like that. Okay. Yeah, I'm playing hardball.
So don't put as much weight then, okay? Don't need you snapping a rib over there. It's not funny. I'm morbid.
Ping! Oh God.
Oh shit.
There's another one.
I'm gonna reach my hand forward. I'm breathing into it. You can totally do this on the bed too. You would just be laying completely on the bed. That would soften it up.
It sure, yeah, it would.
Then you can move your ball a little bit out. And I'm gonna grab the whole boob and pull it so that I can get in there. And we're gonna bring the ball up a little more on the side of the boob. This is really great for lymph too.
Oh yeah.
Notes. If you catch, it's okay if you're like, okay, I don't know if I can do this flat. You could use your other hand to kind of like give you the leverage. That might be too much for me though. This feels great for me. I drove like 6 hours yesterday. So this is perfect.
Hmm.
So I brought my ball up a little higher. So I'm kind of in my armpit right now. And then you can bring the ball right into the point of your shoulder. And I'm gonna put my hand like palm up next to my side. Because what it's doing is it's pulling apart my clavicles. When you're done, you can sit up. I'm going to do one on the edge of the bed or the back for Yvonne. So if you take your ball right below the bra line, you could just sit. Well, how am I going to do this? I'm going to have to do it on the bed like this. If I put it right at the bra strap in the middle,
Got it.
and then I'm going to make sure that I don't let my head do this. I'm going to hold
Is
my
it the white ball?
down right.
Okay.
So I'm going to put my feet flat on the bed. And I'm going to curl my pelvis under so it flattens my lower back. I'm going to kind of scoop my butt away from my head. So the ball is going to go a little bit higher. And at that point, if there's room on your bed to put your head down, you're going to keep your hands behind your head. And you're going to open your elbows wide and breathe in. Now, if it's too much, don't go all the way down. Take a breath in, tuck your tail, flatten your lower back to the bed. Exhale, bring your chin to your chest and come back up. You're gonna bring your feet as close to your butt as it goes and lift your pelvis and pull down so the ball is gonna go higher up the spine. You can also just grab it and move it. I'm keeping my hands behind my head, and then I can softly come down. For me right now, I'm going to need to do this, like add a piece to it so you can try it too. I got my feet as close to my butt as it goes, but I need to lift my pelvis up so that I can get better leverage on the ball.
Where is it on your spine?
It's just, you know, that knob on the back of your neck, C7?
Yeah.
Below that,
Okay.
between the shoulder blades, a little higher.
Okay.
But if it doesn't feel right, do it different, you know? I just needed to bring my hips up because I need the traction to kind of be a little different. How's it feeling, Yvonne?
I probably just figured out what we were doing there. I couldn't quite get it to roll up yet.
I kind of, because the bed is so soft, I kind of just had to move it with my hand. You could just do, let me see if you guys can see what I'm doing. If I put the ball, let's see, here, and then lean back right where I want to start. Oh, I think that's going to be really good for me. So I'm going to kind of go off the edge. And then I get the traction in my neck hanging off, you know? bring it back up. There's a much lower chance you'll hurt yourself on the bed. I feel like that was a really good thing for me. So what I did was I started here and I was trying to use my feet to manipulate the ball to go higher. And then when I lifted my pelvis up, it helped me move the ball so that it wasn't pushing up my spine. It was like tractioning down. Like it's still sitting in the same spot. It wasn't pushing up, it was pushing down. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't like things going up my spine. I'm already compressed in my cervicals. I want things to go down.
That just made me very, very sleepy.
Well, it's siesta time for you.
Yeah.
I hope that was helpful to you guys.
It was,
Well,
thank you.
it certainly felt good on my back where I go and get chiropractic adjustments all the time to loosen it up.
Yeah. Well, what's nice is that, because everybody's got their weak points. So like, you'll notice that like when you get sick, oh, the injury in your wrist hurts. Or like when it's cold outside, you feel it in that one spot. Or, when I get the flu, my neck hurts. And that's because that's my weak spot. Do you guys agree with that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment of, where the fever, it seems like, when you get a fever, everything hurts, but.
But
me,
more
it's
specifically
like-
when you've been hurt. Well, so what I like about using the yamuna balls is because we're making space around our injuries, but then we're using the Metapwr system because it needs building blocks to heal injury, like
Mhm.
around like bone and soft tissue and tendons, and like it needs something to heal itself. So we're giving it the building blocks, and then we're improving our posture so that we don't like stay all wrapped up around our injury,
Mhm.
Right.
So that's what I like about both. Anyway, so we'll do it again next Wednesday, and I guess I'll make sure everyone tells me the crotch to bed ratio.
I'll have to get myself up. Well, this dresser over here worked, but the wall worked. I just have to figure out what I should be doing with my legs at the time, but yeah. And I guess there are other sized balls I should find out about.
Yeah, let's talk, because one ball's never enough.
Yeah.
I'll see you guys next time, Wednesdays.
All right. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.